Good morning, my dear students. Today's topic of discussion is pharmacogenetics and pharmacogenomics. Pharmacogenetics is a field which deals with the genetically mediated quantitative and qualitative alteration in drug response. When any drug is presented to a population, there will be difference in response. The response will always be modulated by the genetic predisposition of the patient. It is observed that genes encoding the enzymes or protein that play a role in the drug response differ in some respect from one individual to the other. A few examples of such genetic variations with which we can demonstrate how these unusual drug response are occurring in human body. The first one is succinylcholine apnea, that is also known as choline apnea. It occurs due to less pseudocholinesterase present in the body of an individual and the presence of atypical pseudocholinesterase. Hence, succinylcholine, which is basically a muscle relaxant given with general anesthetic for muscle relaxation, will not be hydrolyzed and the rate of hydrolyzation is going to be reduced, leading to abnormally prolonged skeletal muscle relaxation, maybe the involvement of prolonged paralysis of diaphragm and apnea, which is known as choline apnea or succinylcholine apnea. It can be studied by Deboucaine number, which is a local anesthetic, which is basically showing that whether the number of enzymes are present normally or not. Usually it is done in the developed countries. How will you manage this case? Ideally the patient should be in ventilator and automatically after 1 or 2 days the things will be metabolized, because few number of enzymes are always there in your body, and the other way around, the pseudocholinesterase is present in plasma. So P for P, that means the pseudo P in plasma. So you have to give the fresh frozen plasma, or the plasma transfusion should be given, and by that you can give new pseudocholinesterase to the human body, and that will help you to metabolize those succinylcholine like drug. Acetylation polymorphism. Acetylation is one of the most important event which has happened in the type 2 biotransformation reaction. There are slow and fast acetylators in human population and leading to slow and rapid acetylation of certain drugs like isoniazid. So isoniazid have fast metabolizers as well as slow metabolizers, and this phenomenon is actually showing when a tuberculosis patient is being treated with INH in different populations. Glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, and that should be monitored before giving primaquine, which is basically a drug given to eradicate one of the state called hypnozoite state present in case of Plasmodium vivax malaria. But this deficiency may lead to hemolytic anemia. Hereditary methemoglobinemia. This enzyme erythrocyte NAD diaphorase protects the erythrocytes by reducing methemoglobin to hemoglobin. And individuals with hereditary deficiency of this enzyme are more prone to develop methemoglobinemia with sulfonamide nitrates. Phenytoin hydroxylation. Some individuals are unable to hydroxylate phenytoin and develop toxicity in usual doses. Inherited increased resistance to warfarin like coumarin like anticoagulants due to an abnormal receptor for them. Malignant hyperthermia, which is induced by halothane and succinylcholine while giving general anesthetics to a patient before surgery. And the treatment of malignant hyperthermia is dantrolene sodium. Disorders of unknown etiology like corticosteroid induced glaucoma, phenytoin-induced gingival hyperplasia, chloramphenicol-induced aplastic anemia. So all these things are falling in the category of pharmacogenetic phenomenon. By the term idiosyncrasy, we mean appearance of unusual, qualitatively different abnormal reactions of a drug due to some inherent genetic abnormality, for which no definite satisfactory explanation is available. For example, aplastic anemia by chloramphenicol, even chloramphenicol drop may cause this. Barbiturate and morphine, it induces excitement in some individuals. Aspirin-induced asthma in hyperreactive individuals. Cholestatic jaundice induced by chlorpromazine. The first dose syncope with prazosin, which is basically an alpha-1 blocker. When we will discuss adrenergic system, the adrenergic blockers, then we will discuss prazosin. So these all are the examples of idiosyncratic reactions. Pharmacogenomics is basically defined as a tool for surveying the entire genome, that means the genetic makeup of an individual, to assess multigenic determinants of drug response, and this knowledge is utilized for the choice of a drug for a particular disease and the dose of the drug. So how is it different from pharmacogenetics? Pharmacogenetics was a field which deals with the genetically mediated quantitative and qualitative alteration in drug response, whereas pharmacogenomics is basically the tool for surveying the entire genome, that means the genetic makeup of an individual, to assess multigenic determinants of drug response, and this knowledge utilized for the choice of drug for a particular disease and dose of the drug. So pharmacogenomics will help you to select your drug. Polymorphism is defined as a variation in a DNA sequence that is present at a frequency of around 1% or greater in a population. There are two major types: single nucleotide polymorphism, and the second one is insertion or deletions. So these are in brief are about pharmacogenetics, pharmacogenomics, idiosyncratic reaction, and polymorphism. A relationship usually is drawn how a patient responds to a drug with his genetic makeup in case of pharmacogenomics, and the purpose is to, as I said, identify the individuals who are either more likely or less likely to respond to a drug, as well as those who require altered dose of certain drugs. An attempt is made to define the genetic basis of an individual's profile of drug response and to predict the best treatment option for the person. So far, this has been applied largely to patients with known genetic abnormalities, but the goal is personalized medicine on a wide scale. However, the basis of a large proportion of genetic variability still remains unexplained. So thank you so much for your patient hearing.